Welcome everyone to another video. My name is Hagot, aka Hags, and today I'm going to share with you from step 1 all the way till the final step of flipping a property. Yes, this may sound easier said than done, but if you put in enough work and effort, it's definitely possible. Starting off straight away with step 1, and that is the budget. Of course, you need to have a budget when flipping a property. To list the things that you need to consider is, of course, the purchase price. Second of all, the refurbishment cost. You may not know exactly the cost, but you can ask a builder to come around during the conveyancing or even at the viewing to actually guide you on how much at least roughly it will cost, and then you can estimate yourself up just to be safe. Then you have stamp duty. If you speak to a solicitor, there may be a chance that you don't even have to pay this. And then you have your solicitor fees, and that is for both purchasing the property and also selling it. So basically times it by 2, because you're going to pay the same amount twice really. And you may have other costs which come with this. So of course, as you do your numbers, consider the other factors that might pop up along the way. Now, moving on to step 2, finding the property. This is probably one of the hardest steps, but once you've got the connections, once you've done this once or twice before, you sort of know what you're looking for and you have the right people to come to you to bring the right property. And the certain types of properties you want to go for are the worse, the better. And as they say, find the worst property on the best street. And then you add the value as much as possible, even if there's even structural issues. You can get a report done, you can then find out how much it will cost, and then your builder can give you a price. If it adds up to your figures, then go for it. At least then you'll be able to make even more money because there's less people interested in the property. Now, the next step, and that is actually viewing the property to make sure that the refurbishment figures that you have come to from just looking at the photos are actually true. Because when you look at photos on Rightmove or Zoopla, wherever it is, the photos don't really do it justice on the condition of the property. So really be careful of that. And then once you've done the viewing, you've been able to spot everything, figure out what actually needs doing, what may have been hidden in the photos. You can then do your numbers again, and if it's all right, then this is the moment you go and put your offer forward. You put this offer forward either on that same day or the next day. Reason being is because if someone's offered the same amount as you, they may go based off the person that offered before. Or if you have done this before and you are a trustworthy buyer, then they'll probably go for yours. You want to go through the conveyancing side of things. Yes, this is boring, so I'm going to brush over this as quick as possible. And most of these properties that you should be going for don't really have much paperwork anyway. So really just expect it to be a freehold if it's a house, or a leasehold if it's a flat. But at the same time, when you're doing this paperwork, your solicitor is actually giving you advice on what to look out for. And sometimes you even get paperwork dated back in the 90s of transactions that have been made, which has nothing to do with you, but it just needs to be there. And at this stage, go and collect those keys. And once you've collected those keys, get on with the work. No messing around. For me personally, my builder is straight in as soon as my keys have been collected, unless he has another big project going on, but most likely he does put me somewhat first, which is always nice. So get the builder in, get these works done. For me personally, doing a refurb of an interior 2 to 3 bed house will take around 2 months to 3 months, depending on the real condition of the property. And then if you're looking to do an extension, obviously that's another 2 or so months to add on top of that. It should be quick and easy. Yes, you may come across some things as you're going and digging through the property, as your builder's stripping everything out, you may come across something. But again, it's not going to take another month to fix these problems. And at this stage, works are complete. What I tend to do is get the same agent to come back to the property to sell it for me. And this obviously creates that relationship. So get that agent in, come up with a contract, come up with the fee that they're going to charge, how much you're going to list it for, and do your own research with this as well. I know they have valuators, but for me personally, I do my own valuating on the property, because when I buy the property, I already know roughly how much I'm going to sell it on for. And it's just a matter of looking at Rightmove and seeing what has been listed and what has recently been sold. And that's it. And now back to somewhat the boring part. It is the paperwork. Just make sure if you put the new heating in, new electrics in, you've got all the certificates. As my property's listed, I'm filling these documents out before we've even agreed a price with a potential buyer, because it just makes life easier. I can just send it over as soon as there's an agreement. And that is the energy performance certificate, which is always needed, fittings and contents form, which is just saying what is in the property, so it'll be pretty much an empty property, so you won't have to have too much to do. The property information form, which again, these things are somewhat boring, but just fill it out, get it done, send it off to your solicitor. And besides that, it's really just any other documents you have, send it all over to your solicitor and they will have that set and ready. At this stage, you're pretty much well underway. You've had your offer agreed, you've signed all the paperwork, go back and forth a few times with some questions that the new buyer has, get it done as quick as possible, get the funds, give the keys, and that is a job well done. But I've been Haggot, aka Hags. Don't forget the name, and I'll catch you in the next video.